My name is Joseph D'Abaco, or Giuseppe D'Abaco, that's what it says in my passport. I've been riding since I was about 3 years of age. When I was young, until about the age of 17 or 18, I used to race, strictly on an amateur level. And I went to university and did other things. I didn't ride a bike seriously for about 20 years. And then in my mid to late 30s, I rediscovered the passion of cycling, joined the club, the Italo-Australian Cycling Club, and I've continued to ride since then. I've known about Giovanni Battaglin for very many years. I've always been passionately interested in the history of cycling, and Giovanni Battaglin, Giro d'Italia, Vuelta winner, won within a space of 3 days, an amazing feat. I was here in Marostica last year with a very good friend of mine, Gino Carmelli, and Gino's even more passionate about cycling than I am. And he said, "Oh, let's go visit the Battaglin factory." I said, "Okay." So we came here, we walked around, we met Alessandro, we met Giovanni, and we toured the Officina. I walked out and I said to Gino, "I'm going to buy a bike." And that's basically how it all started. And a few days ago, I think to be precise, on the 2nd of October, 2023, I took delivery of the bike over my right shoulder. Look, I must confess that I was amazed, pleasantly amazed, by the entire experience. I've travelled back and forth between Australia and Italia now for some 30 years, and I think it's fair to say that from an Anglo-Saxon perspective, the Italian bureaucracy and the Italian method of business can be somewhat challenging, to put it mildly. But the degree of professionalism and experience that I encountered here was wonderful. Both Alessandro and Dario were very, very responsive. I'd send an email and I'd have a response overnight. If there were things that we needed to discuss through WhatsApp video calls, I could speak with Alessandro and everything was sorted. When it then came to actually collecting my bike, I happened to order the Super Record Campagnolo wireless because I've always ridden Campagnolo and I will always ride Campagnolo. There's no other group set for me. And even though I understand that they're incredibly difficult to obtain at the moment, Alessandro was able to work miracles. I've got the bike that I wanted. I came here at the allotted time on 5 o'clock on Monday afternoon and the bike was there ready. And the next day, being yesterday morning, I went out for my first ride. In terms of the road feel of the bike, I've been very lucky to have ridden lots of different bikes. And I've got a number of different bikes. It's a bone of contention between me and my wife. But I ride a steel bike, I've got a couple of carbon bikes, I've got a titanium frame. And that's in fact made by an artigiano from this area. It's a handmade titanium frame. And I thought that was the best bike I've ever had. But the Battaglin is the best bike. When you're climbing and you get out of the saddle and you start reefing, there is an immediate power transfer to the road. It is so efficient. You can feel the power going through the bottom bracket and going directly to the wheels. The thing that I find incredibly amazing is the handling, descending. In this part of the Veneto, they are blessed with wonderful descents, good roads, nice open curves so you can see the traffic, and the Battaglin handles like it's on rails. And it's easy. If you hit a little bump in the road, on my carbon bike it'll jump. The Battaglin doesn't, it's steady. And what I find is that most corners, if you don't know a corner, you'll back off. You might even hit the brake, and if you hit the brake, obviously the bike will sit up. With the Battaglin, I wasn't braking, I was just pushing it and just seeing how far can I take it into a curve. And it just tracks. It tracks beautifully. I was hitting descents at 70, 75 Ks an hour, descents that I'd never do that quickly on a carbon bike because I don't know the roads. Here, even though I didn't know the roads, I felt comfortable with the bike. The disc brakes are awesome. It's my first experience of disc brakes. I've only ever ridden mechanicals, but I'm a convert. It was wonderful. The look and the finish is absolutely amazing. When I rode out yesterday, it was very early in the morning, around 7:30, 7:45. And at this time of year, it's that sort of autumnal sun, which is very, very warm. And because of the colour which I have chosen, which is an orange, but it's not an orange, it's more a bronze, I think, the bike was just glowing. It glowed. And I did notice that just riding the bike, there were some cyclists coming in the opposite direction and they were all turning because it's a fairly striking bike. The level of detail is lovely. My father-in-law was a fitter and turner and a boilermaker, so I know a little bit about metalwork. The brazing, the welding is spotless. You can virtually not see the welds. So if that's your thing, as a piece of art, as something to put up on the wall, you can do that with a Battaglin. Personally, I would never do that because it's a work of art to be ridden and to be used. But aesthetically, it's lovely. Custom geometry is everything. You may have a longer torso, you might have shorter legs, you may have longer arms. A bike off the rack cannot accommodate that, but a custom built frame certainly can.